Mr. Mushayi, welcome to the Radio Podcast.
Thank you very much, my brother.
What makes you sure that your administration is the right administration for the people and for the community of University of Zimbabwe at large?
An era where we talk of students given the platform to air out their views.
So, what were the 100 days all about? Was it a project? And if it was a project, what have you achieved so far?
So we want to change that. We want to bridge that gap. We want to be a society, a community, whereby we talk of empowering students.
But do they have a space where they can showcase their talents? Like, are there events which are happening which they can use to showcase their talents? I hope we see changes, because if students have to resort to using data, mobile data, we know the economic status of our country. But the issue of MRA has been very hot for a while, because some people may find it difficult to access their results. Sometimes,
as the voice of the students, we had to air out those concerns.
welcome back to the Reality Podcast, guys, and I'm your host, Mr. Dande, and I'm happy to be back here again on this platform where we talk about the pressing issues and those issues which are happening in the communities. And today we have a special edition which I'll be hosting Mr. Tendayi Mushayi, who is a man who needs no introduction because many people know him. Many people know him as Tendayi Mushayi. Many people know him as the SRC president of the University of Zimbawe, and other people know him as a friend. Today I'll be joined with him, and he will be taking us on a very special interface as the leader of the community of the University of Zimbabwe. He'll share us on topics which are affecting the youth at campus at large, and he will be able to address these issues on this platform. Mr. Mushayi, welcome to the Radio Podcast.
Thank you very much, my brother. Thank you very much. I'm very humbled to be here. I'm glad to be seated alongside you.
It's such a pleasure to have a man of a caliber on this show.
Yes, indeed. But I think it's necessary that the University of Zimbawe community gets to know what they have to know when it comes to issues that affect them on a daily basis.
Yeah, you're actually right, because the students need to hear what is happening and the developments which are happening around campus, and you are the man who is responsible for that.
Yes, true.
Yes. So, I know you as a student as the University of Zimbabwe president, but not so many people know a lot about you. Pertaining your background, who is Tendayi Mushayi? Exactly, before we get into the presidential caliber.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. I'm a very private person when it comes to my personal life.
Okay.
Yeah, I usually do not want to interact the public life with the private life, but I'll give you a peep into the private life.
Okay.
Yes, I'm studying material science.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm a class 2 student.
All right.
So my background, just to keep it brief.
Okay.
I did not really grow up in a rich family.
Mm-hmm.
So to get where I'm here now, I had to struggle to make ends meet. But I thank God that we managed to get here now.
That's very good. That's a very good background. And you are telling a story of a real Zimbabwean, because in Zimbabwe we have to wait for what you have to have for tomorrow. That's very good. You know, I remember, I think I was in part 1. I met this girl. She was talking about you in such a fantastic way. She was saying, I know Mr. Mushayi is a very cool dude, he's handsome. You're popular with the ladies, do you know that?
No, I did not know that.
You're very popular with the ladies. I even read some of the confessions in groups. They talk about you a lot, the ladies.
Really?
Yeah, you've got secret admirers out there.
They should come out. I'm a very public guy.
Okay.
Very nice, yeah.
You're approachable.
I'm approachable.
Fantastic. Okay, moving on. What inspired you to become or to run for the SRC president?
Okay, that's a very nice question. Thank you for that one. Because I believe that people have to know where the inspiration comes from. As for me, my goal is to circumvent neo-colonialism.
Yes.
When I talk about neo-colonialism, right, it comes from a point where I believe in the idea of Marxism.
Okay.
Whereby there is a community that is divided into two classes.
Yes.
The proletariat, which are the workers, and the bourgeoisie, who are the people who command the workers. What I'm trying to do is to bridge that gap to make sure that every student gets representation despite background, where they come from, who they are, or what they're affiliated to. My goal, or what inspires me the most, is to see issues, real issues, being articulated on the ground.
Yes.
Because students are suffering out there, and it's my role as the student's voice, as I represent more than 24,000 students,
Yes.
to make sure that those concerns are met, and they're met in a timely manner. And if it means that students should have trees in the hostels, if that's what they desire, I'll make sure that they get those trees, because that is my duty. It's an obligation that I have to make sure students are represented. I'm very passionate. I'm very impetuous about my passion, because it comes from a place where I feel that I should help someone, regardless of my portfolio. People who knew me since I started in part one, they always knew that I would be there for them.
Yes.
Despite any portfolio. Now that I'm president, it just makes the work much easier, because I can get into doors which I could not get into.
Wow. That's so profound, guys. And that's a very good introduction for yourself. I'm very proud of you. Okay, you have a team behind you, right?
Yeah.
You have leaders who you have put into the community.
Yeah.
You've assigned to certain duties in the community, right? Yeah. So it's like administration, right?
Yeah.
So my question is, it's coming from me personally.
Okay.
Because the questions that I'm going to question Mr. Mushayi are from the students. I had to walk around campus asking people what are the issues which are happening around campus, and what is the president doing to address them, and their complaints. So this one is from me personally. What makes you sure that your administration is the right administration for the people and for the community of University of Zimbabwe at large?
Okay, thank you very much. When it comes to my team, I am very certain that they are the right candidates to represent the students.
Okay.
As for 2024, I would like to say that a new era of student governance and student politics emerged at the University of Zimbabwe. An era whereby we talk of development, an era where we talk of students given the platform to air out their views, right? Because you cannot address issues that come out from your mind without hearing what the students want, what they need. Because all we are just servants.
Okay.
Or that's all we are, servants in a soup.
Okay.
You understand? That's what I mean when I say humble leadership, servant leadership. Me and my team, we are there and we are committed to changing that radicalist approach and political approach to student issues. Yeah, I think you heard me when I said that I want to circumvent all neo-colonialism. That is my duty, that is my responsibility, to make sure that despite of affiliation, despite of political background, despite of color, race, tribe, religion, every student needs is met on campus. And that is what me and my team do each and every day. That is what drives us to wake up in the morning, knowing that we have an obligation to the electorate which voted for us.
Okay.
Yes.
That's something great to hear from someone of my age. Okay, I remember, I don't know if you were still campaigning or after you were elected as the president of University of Zimbabwe. I come across an article in social media where you spoke about the 100 days. So, what were the 100 days all about? Was it a project? And if it was a project, what have you achieved so far with the issue of 100 days? Was it a movement?
No, it was not a movement.
Okay.
It is an action plan.
Okay.
strategic action plan. You know, what makes you work faster is when you have a time limit. So the moment you put a time limit on yourself, you put pressure on yourself to deliver.
Yes.
So that you don't have time to relax. You're always on your toes. You're always working hard to deliver. So the 100-day plan is a plan which me and my team, the SRC, this includes the SEC and the SRA.
Okay.
It's a company. So what happens now is that from the 100-day plan, we have 3 sectors, which is the entrepreneurship reform, the sports and entertainment reform, and we have the health security reform, the educational reform. Okay, so what we did with the 100-day plan is something different. We thought of going out of the box, doing something different from all the previous SRCs on campus.
Okay.
It's the first of its kind. The 100-day plan is a strategic plan which aims now at fixing all those other platforms which we saw to be vacant, which needed us to put our hands on. It goes to the entrepreneurship reform,
Yes.
where we talk of students on campus that just come to acquire a degree and leave. But we want to change that. We want to change the narrative that says university is just for education. And when we talk about education, we're talking about acquiring your degree and leaving and getting a job afterwards.
Because that's what is happening.
That
out
is
there.
what is happening. That's the truth. That's the naked truth. So we want to change that. We want to bridge that gap. We want to be a society, a community, whereby we talk of empowering students monetary-wise for daily upkeep. We have to make sure that students are financially literate so that when they leave campus or when they leave university, they have somewhere to start from. They have a skill, because money-making skill is different from acquiring a degree alone.
Okay.
Money-making is a skill on its own.
Okay.
Financial literacy comes from learning about what to do, how do you acquire that finance, how do you maneuver, what do you do with that money.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what we want to do. We renovated the Students' Union building, which has been left vacant for too long. We want to make it a building for the students, where students can actually put there are a lot of barbers on campus, technicians, hairstylists on campus, but they do not get that opportunity to actually have a place on the institution, legally of course, where they can showcase their God-given talents and make money out of it. That is what we're trying to do. We're trying to bridge that gap between financial literacy and acquiring a degree, making it in conjunction to a better life for every student on campus.
Okay, interesting. You speak of something very interesting here, and something which is new to the University of Zimbabwe.
Yeah,
we talk about,
as I said, it's a new era.
It's a new era. That's very good. So, you speak about bringing entrepreneurship to the students.
Yes.
Financial literacy.
Yes.
Because people know money, but they don't know how to use it.
Yes.
That is what is happening here. People don't know how to budget. People don't know how to plan. And that's what I'm talking about. And when I view the University of Zimbabwe, it's like an economic market. You can almost find anything that you want on campus if you know someone who to contact, right?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people who are talented when you use it, as you said. But do they have a space where they can showcase their talents? Like, are there events which are happening which they can use to showcase their talents? Because some people have skills out there, but they don't know how to reach the community at large. Are you preparing anything for the students so that they can showcase their skills, their businesses, their entrepreneurship skills? Are you doing anything so that they can reach that level?
Yes. About that, just a quick one of the head. There is the innovation hub, right?
Yes.
It's mainly used for scientific purposes, scientific research. But as the SRC sat down and said, you know what? We now need to be inclusive to students who are business minded. Students should come up with business ideas which are innovative, and we can give them startup funds. We can fund them. It's something that is ongoing of the head. We are working on it right now at the SRC. We are working on inviting top entrepreneurs in Zimbabwe to come give out public lectures. Then students can address their business ideas that they have. And these top entrepreneurs are willing to put money on those ideas, probably 20 best ideas.
Okay.
Yes, and a lot of money so that one can start his own business and start employing people. Because that's what we want. We want to change the narrative when you end university, right? And become employed. But you should employ. That's what we are trying to deploy on the ground. So basically, we are working on it. Everything is underway.
Okay. So basically, it's a plan in action, or it's something which is already happening.
It's a plan in action. It's
Okay.
a plan in action. The concept notes, the papers, everything is clear. We're just waiting for the administration to give us clearance. Then it's head on.
Okay. So right as of now, it's like it's something which is in theory before it is being put into practice, right?
Yeah, you see what happens now. There are three types of people.
Okay.
Yeah, there are three types of people in the society.
Enlighten us.
Yeah. They are verbalists. People who just talk a lot but produce nothing at the end of the day. They are activists, people who act like they're doing something but produce nothing at the end of the day. Then they are pragmatists, and I believe I myself am one. People who actually do something on the ground, something tangible, something physical. So you see now what happens. What happens is that whenever you start something new, as I said, it's a new era, you are prone to resistance and change. There is a lot of resistance. But we are navigating our way towards achieving what we want as the SRC of the University of Zimbabwe. So it's something that will not change overnight. We cannot change that overnight. As I said, that is something new that we are bringing. But I can promise you that I'm not just being verbal right now. These are papers which are in motion, and as soon as we get approval, clearance, we implement.
Yeah, that's very good. And I like your vision. It shows that we're going somewhere. And I hope it just don't remain in theory. Because I also have to say something. There are people who make things happen. There are people who watch things happen. And there are people who hear about what happened. And I'm sure you're one of the people who are trying to make things happen.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm very proud of you, my bro. So, what you said was very convincing, I must say. And anyone who has listened so far should say that this guy has vision. But we have to talk about the issues which are on the ground, like the reality of what is really happening on the ground. When I ask the people around campus on what is happening, what are the issues which they're complaining about? They first mentioned the issue of Wi-Fi in the corridors or in the new complex halls. They're saying that connectivity is not reachable, and that they're finding it hard to research or to connect to the global market or to the global knowledge because they don't have connectivity to the internet. What is happening concerning the issue of Wi-Fi?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. It's a question which troubles me a lot. Sometimes I cannot even sleep concerning Wi-Fi. But what happens is that it's a challenge which students have been facing for the previous years, ever since probably it was 2016, 2015. That's when I heard that I was not just a student at the University of Zimbabwe, but I had my brother there who always complained about Wi-Fi also. Not saying this because I want to excuse myself from such an issue, but I'm saying this so that students get to know the climax of the situation. That is something which has been on the ground troubling students since way back, and it's something which will need us now as the SRC to intervene, and we have already started working on fixing that issue. But all I can tell you now is that it's a gradual process. We're not going to fix it overnight, and we would want help and support from the students, knowing that as their leaders, we know the issue of Wi-Fi, and we know it's affecting them because I'm a student too. Before I am a president, it affects me too on a daily basis. We've engaged even with the Vice Chancellor of the institution on the issue of Wi-Fi, and he says that he is working on it. That is what he told us when we engaged on it. But we also had to engage other corporates outside as a SRC because we are a separate entity from the administration. So at the SRC, we can engage with corporates, then bring them to the university, and then obviously through the Dean of Students, of course, you will help us now get approval to work with the corporates. Okay, so we've engaged several corporates who are willing to buy routers and increase connectivity. So we are only now waiting for the university administration to approve of such, so that we can get the ball rolling and fix the Wi-Fi issues, because it's a really big problem. We should not take it lightly, because students need to study in the halls of residence. The library cannot capacitate 24,000 students.
You're very right.
Yes. So we are working on it tirelessly, and I guarantee you that it's a gradual process. I'm not saying that we're going to change it overnight, but I'm saying over time you should definitely see changes.
Okay, I hope we see changes, because if students have to resort to using data, mobile data, we know the economic status of our country, and data tariffs are rising gradually. So we have to have a conducive environment which can rescue us from the problems of mobile data, and that is Wi-Fi. So expect change, right?
Yes.
Okay. Previously, you mentioned about the issue of innovation on the University of Zimbabwe.
Yes.
And it has to do with the issue of technology.
Yes.
Right. True. But one of the hottest topic on campus is the issue of Imari. They use a system which people used to pay fees, access results, register their courses, right? But the issue of Imari has been very hot for a while, because some people may find it difficult to access their results. Sometimes the Imari system takes long to fix. What is the issue regarding the Imari process? Is it like a technical problem? Is it a bad technical team? Or is it just like the team is not willing to replace or upgrade the system? What is happening about the issue of Imari?
Okay, that's a great question. Yes, it's a grave concern.
It's a big issue.
Yes. You know, Imari affects every student on campus, because up to now it has been fixed, but during that period students could not add courses, students could not register, and there was a deadline and students were panicking. And as the voice of the students, we had to air out those concerns. That is why registration was reduced to 25%, and there was a deadline increase, because we went out and engaged and told them that students out there are panicking, and we need your help, and we need your support now to help these students register as soon as they can. So what happens now with the issue of Imari? It goes back, as I said, that these are problems which students have been suffering from a very, 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 very long time, way back. So what happens now is that as the student leaders, we engage with the relevant offices, the authorities on such issues. And I can promise you that by end of this year, the year we are in 2-2, right? 3-2, the final year, 4-2. Yes. By end of this year, there will be changes. There will be drastic changes on Imari, and you will see some improvement, because we are making engagements on a daily basis, so that they know that the students are really suffering from what is going on with that system. I cannot say that it's a bad team, probably, because I will not be there when such issues arise. We just see them arising, and then we engage and ask what's going on. But I see the team is committed, because I've spoke with some of the guys at the Imari department, the IT department. They are very committed, and they're talking about making drastic changes towards Imari. So all I can promise the student fraternity, the student body, is that we are working on it daily, and they should rest assured that we are fixing it.
Okay, that's very good to hear. And personally, I always wonder, is it the issue that the Imari system cannot accommodate 24,000 students, or is it just like a technical glitch? Because sometimes you get stressed about registering courses online and on time. But since they've aired out the issue, I hope that we'll see change. Is that the president? And you seem like a very capable young man.
Yes, delivering is my motto.
Yeah, you want to deliver.
I want to deliver.
Yeah, I wanted to go down in the history of most of the innovative president of all time on campus. So moving on, there's the issue of accommodation system. When I first enrolled into University of Zimbabwe, I applied for accommodation, and sadly, I could not find accommodation. And I wondered why students who come from afar, for example, me, I come from Mutare. There are students who come far from Blawayo, Mutare, and other places which are very far from the institution. I wonder why they're not given first priority into getting their allocation. Because sometimes you find someone who's in Harare or who lives near campus getting accommodation, while someone who is from Blawayo or Mutare or Masvingo does not get accommodation. Because people, when they come to Harare, most of us, we are not aware of the locations here, and we're forced to look for accommodation off campus. And it's a very problematic thing, because sometimes you'll be conned by those people who find campuses for students. They may tell you that I found a place which is a walkable distance, and you'll discover that it's very far. And it's an issue which so many people complain about. Yes. So why is it that students who come from afar do not get accommodation?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. The issue about accommodation, we have to circumvent everything and look at the fact that the rooms only accommodate 4,000 students, and there is the cause for concern. Why are they only accommodating 4,000 students? That is why you see the university is now building more hostels, more halls of residence. It is because of the engagements we have been making, saying that we need to have rooms for more students. At least if we can have for half the students, that is 12,000 students, to secure accommodation on campus, because it makes their life easier. So we are well on top of the situation. We are pushing and working hand in glove with the administration collaboratively, so that we can have as many halls of residence as possible. I think you've seen construction is underway for some of those. Yes. Yeah. So that is all I can say regarding that issue, because a lot of students, if you were to look into the number, take a survey, on the 4,000 students, probably 2,000 don't live in probably 3,000 or 3.5 don't live in Harare. Okay. But we still need to have more halls of residence to accommodate others who live outside Harare. Okay. That is the cause for concern. Yeah. Because we have disability students who also need accommodation. Okay. They're in dire need of accommodation.
So they take a portion of that system. They take a portion of that system. Yeah. So at the end of the day, we need to increase the halls of residence on campus so that they can accommodate a large number of students. Okay. So the solution is construction. Construction. Okay. That is the best solution we can do, because it is a long-term solution. Okay. It is a permanent solution which will help the student fraternity. Okay. Yes. Okay. My personal suggestion is that the algorithm of Imari may be given a mapping system so that it locates students who live far away. Because it's very hard to navigate through Harare if you're not familiar with the place. That's true. Yes, I've seen a lot of my peers finding it difficult to navigate in town. Yeah. So we are working on it, and rest assured that we are not sleeping. Okay. We are not sleeping. I myself, personally, if I am to tell you this as a public secret, I sleep only 3 hours each day. Wow. Yes. Because for us to have change, because we as youth, we are the catalyst for any social metamorphosis in the university, in the country. Yes, we are the ones which start any revolutionary change. We as youth, we have that power. And as a student leader, I would like to call myself the biggest student leader in Zimbabwe, because the University of Zimbabwe is the biggest institution in Zimbabwe. Okay. Yes. So I cannot afford to sleep when I have such a workload on my hands. Yes. So we are working daily, and be rest assured that we are fixing any challenges that the students are facing. Okay. I hope that you are working tirelessly so that you achieve your goals. In that, I'm very sure that You have to rest once you are done with your goals, right?
Definitely.
Okay. And you are sacrificing your health for the sake of students.
Before I die from meningitis.
But I encourage you to eat fruits and take care of your body, please, bro.
I cannot afford to eat. Students are suffering.
Really?
Trust me.
Okay.
I do not have appetite when the students are not having that adequate representation.
Okay. So you are not selfish. Guys, you can see that this guy is not selfish. He's working for the students and he's working hard. I'm very sure if you could have control over any issues which should be happening, you could fix them yourself.
I would fix them. All of them.
You are determined. Okay, still on the issue of accommodation. There's the issue of meals. I've seen that on social media. People post pictures of the meals which they are being given at dining halls. They're saying that the quality of meal is not tallying with the amount of money which they are paying. What is happening there?
Okay, thank you for that question.
Yes.
We have engaged with the responsible officers.
Yes.
We've engaged with the dean of students and the catering department. And I would like to tell you that they are working on resolving those issues. The dean of students is not resting over that issue because he knows it's a very, very big issue if you are to marginalize it. We are working with them daily, making sure that that issue of catering is solved because we need, as the biggest institution, we need to have a diet which all the other institutions can learn from. You understand? A diet where my students would love to say, I'm going to eat at the dining.
Yes.
Not that when students hear that it's dining time, they say, I'm going to eat at the dining because I'm hungry.
Okay.
Just so that you can fill your stomach. But you have to go because you love the food.
Yeah.
The food is tasty. The
You
food
enjoy
is
the
nice.
food.
Yes. So we are working on it, and I'll tell you that we are putting gravity on the issue. We are putting a lot of gravity on the issue at a speed of 9.81 meters per second. We are working on it and we are solving it.
Okay. Because I understand that a healthy brain needs healthy food.
Exactly.
People cannot function once you're getting the right nutrients.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But do not worry about the fixing.
Okay. Your administration should be aware of the issue because it is very serious.
They are aware. That's why I mentioned the dean of students. Dr. Karamba is aware. And I would have to comment that he's doing his best.
Okay.
And the issue will be solved in no lesser than by end of the semester.
Okay.
When we go into the next semester, we're talking of a world-class diet for the university students.
I hope that you deliver your claims.
My motto is, as I said, it's a new era of student governance whereby we do not just make noise for the sake of making noise while students are suffering at our expense. As the SRC, we put it to ourselves to make sure that students are well represented. And I will promise you that we shall deliver on our promises.
Okay, that's very interesting. Okay, on that issue of the welfare of the students, someone commented on the issue of diarrhea outbreaks on campus. Does this issue have to do with the quality of water being offered on campus, or is it issue of hygiene? What is happening on campus pertaining the issue of diarrhea? And does the medical staff have enough medical supplies for the issue?
Okay, there was a diarrhea outbreak end of last semester, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
But we managed to contain it. It was a national crisis where there was no water in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
Yes, so it affected also the University of Zimbabwe because it is in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
You understand? So I would like to say that going forward for such drastic issues, the institution is worked now on a backup water supply from the UZ farm.
Right.
So that when an issue like this arises, we have a backup plan to follow.
Yeah.
So the issue on diarrhea now, it will also come back to the hygiene, and I'm pretty sure that the halls of residence nowadays are being kept clean. That is because we are voicing the concerns of the students to the relevant authorities.
All right.
Yes.
Because we need healthy students.
Yes.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Okay, bro, when I look at the university, it is a student space where people should have freedom. And most of the time, our welfare, our personal welfare, depends on us as students.
True.
No one really looks out for us. Not pointing at you, the administration, but personally. So students tend to have a lot of freedom, and with the freedom comes with responsibilities, right? But when you look at the university, we are seeing a rise in drug abuse. Students are dealing with the drugs, and is it now just a matter of personal reasons, or is it just a matter of what can I say, just for refreshment? What is happening in the issue of drug abuse, and what are you doing towards the issue?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Just a quick one. On did you somewhat do a survey on the increase of drug abuse on campus?
Well, there are people who actually use marijuana. I've seen them, and I've actually seen people walk around smoking cigarettes, and sometimes at night I've seen people who be smelling alcohol on them. So is it a matter of refreshment, or what do you have to say to them?
Okay, it's a matter of substance. It's a matter of substance. I myself have an organization called the Anti-Drug Abuse Squad, whereby we raise awareness to students about the abuse of drugs and the effects drugs have on their bodies, their mental health. So it now goes down to us as the Student Representative Council.
Okay.
When we hear such issues, such concerns, we have to increase awareness, we have to increase education to the students in terms of drug abuse awareness. Yes. So with my team, it's a very competent team. I have the Secretary for Social Welfare.
Okay.
She's working tirelessly, engaging relevant authorities so that we can have these campaigns on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So that students know that the abuse of drugs will affect not only them but their families also.
Yes.
Yes, and as Zimbabwean youth, we should take a stance on that. As the University of Zimbabwe youth, we should take a stance on drug abuse, whereby we say that what is really causing these students to take drugs.
Yeah.
As an individual, I've done my research as a drug awareness activist. I've done some research, and it goes down to a point whereby some are family issues.
Okay.
Students undergo depression from a background issue, a family issue. Some issues are of peer pressure on campus.
Yes.
Some issues are of financial difficulties and you're looking for an escape and you take drugs. But I always tell people that drugs are not the answer. It's a quick escape for 2 hours, but what about the rest of your life when the drugs fade off? So we should also include you, because it's your duty as a member of the society to make sure that people should not abuse such substances. And I'm pretty sure that with the tactic that we have right now with the SRC, which I lead myself, to engage on those awareness campaigns on a weekly basis, so that students know that this is not the answer.
Drug abuse is
not the answer.
Yeah, you are quite right. And I'm very sure you're also passionate about the girl child, right?
Very much so.
Okay, because we're seeing also the issue of blazers. Sometimes we see so many types of vehicles which we don't really say that is not a student car. It's too much, it's too expensive. And actually when you look around, you see a big man or an older man in there with a student, a young girl in there. And it also resonates with also the issue of drug abuse, because it's not about any health issue, because we are seeing a spread of STIs on campus. We are seeing students being impregnated, and some of them get into serious situations. Some people also get into accidents when they're involved with these blessers or these odd men or whatever, because these girls will be looking for financial assistance, or maybe they're trying to gain fun because they said they got freedom, they said they got rights. But what do you have to say to the girl child pertaining the issue of blessers?
Okay. First and foremost, I would like to address one thing.
Yes.
So that we make it clear. Not all cars, big cars with big guys are blessers.
Okay.
Some people come from unstable backgrounds. They are fathers. Some fathers come to collect their children over the weekend. So we first have to address that so that we become inclusive to those who come from a financial background, which is well sustained. Okay. Then it goes on now to the issue of blessers, girls and blessers. Also, there are also boys who have cougars out there. Not that I know, but yeah, I know that it's something that is happening.
Okay.
In the world at large, not
Okay.
only in Zimbabwe. So I would like to say that having blessers is not the answer. It's not the answer to the girl child, because they will victimize you and make you an object.
Okay.
They are object because it's a transaction.
Okay.
So whenever there's a transaction, one needs to meet the demand with supply.
Okay.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yes. So now, as student leaders, youth leaders, we need to come up with solutions when we acknowledge a problem.
Yeah.
When we recognize a problem, it's now our duty to come up with solutions.
Yes.
So that we can have a way forward. Because everyone in here can acknowledge a problem, but what you do after you acknowledge the problem is what makes us different. So as youth leaders who were elected into office, it is now our mandate to make sure that these girls who go after places, if it's for financial freedom, we now have to bring in the entrepreneurship reform, which I was telling you about.
Yes.
Because what makes people go out and look for money is that they do not have avenues that are bringing them money within. So that is what we are trying to preach. That is what the SRC is trying to preach. So I would like to tell them that it is not the answer to go to older men and look for money, because they will make you an object. You are better than that and you deserve better.
Yes.
And it is our role now. I, as the president myself, will make sure that we will equip you with the financial literacy that will make you excel and fend for yourself.
Yes.
Yes, I understand that some do this out of a place where they feel they do not have any choice. So we will try our best, our level best, to make sure that the numbers are reduced.
Okay. I would also like to say to the girl child that do not be pressured by campus life or compare yourself to other students, because you can actually build something on your own. You can start a business. You can tap into initiatives which can help you. You can also meet with friends who can actually give you ideas which cannot bring harm to your health, to your body, or even affect your academic studies. Because I actually believe that women can be creators also. Men come from women, so that means women can also build stuff. So protect yourself out there, ladies. Have dignity and pursue bigger things than misusing your body. So going on, you are a leader, right? So what has shaped your leader? What can you say is the presidential place that shaped your leadership skills as a person in terms of character, relationship, and academics?
Okay. As I said before, that I am not really, my private life is different from my public life.
Okay.
You understand? But I would like to say that being a president has made me realize that you cannot really differentiate the two. Because if a student calls me at 2 a.m., I have to wake up early in the morning at 2 a.m. and go and solve that. I recently had an engagement with one of the students who called me at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
Yes, and she told me that she's a female student.
Okay.
Yes, at 1 a.m. she told me that she's feeling dizzy. She's very sick. She needs help. So I had to go and contact the janitor so that we can take her to we can take her to the SDO who can help her when such issues arise.
Okay.
So you see that you're now obliged to making sure that if a student has a problem, no matter the time, you then realize that her problems or his problems become your problems also. So that has shaped me into becoming a person who is very fond of what I do, because I understand that there are problems out there, and that person's problems can be my problems also. So having this presidential post, it has shaped me to learn to listen to people.
Okay.
To stop being arrogant, because people have ideas but they do not have a platform to voice them out. All I am here is a bare medium to those concerns, to those ideas which they have. So it has shaped me into becoming someone who listens a lot, someone who feels for people. You know that to have the empathy
for others.
And as it stands now, it's doing I could say that the position is doing a really great job, and it's very tiring, but it's for a greater good, for a greater cause.
Okay, I actually understand that. So, your words of inspiration to others as we end this interface, what do you have to say to the family of the University of Zimbabwe?
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay.
I would like to say that the sky is the limit.
Okay.
The sky is the limit. I'm a person who reads a lot of books.
Okay.
And you see that every story begins from somewhere.
Okay.
You have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And literally no one can tell you what you should do with your life.
Okay.
You have the keys to your life. You are the one who controls what happens right now in the present and what happens to the future.
Okay.
So to the University of Zimbabwe community, I would like to say that let no one shatter your dreams.
Okay.
You can reach wherever you want to reach. You can reach your goals. The sky is the limit.
Yes, that's very true. And the guys here, the president said that he's working tirelessly so that the university can give you the best accommodation services. You can give you the best experience at the university. He's working tirelessly so that you get the A-class type of experience at the University of Zimbabwe. He is a young man, but he has a lot of pressure on his shoulders so that he delivers what he wants to deliver to you. He's listening to your complaints, but he sees the process will be developing and everything improve gradually. Nothing happens overnight, but it's working. You may complain, but it's working. He's hearing your complaints, but everything takes time and he will surely deliver. And that was me, Mr. Alex Dande. And join me next time on another segment on the Dande podcast. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm very thankful for the president for being here with me. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much. It's an honor.
Okay, till next time, guys. I love you.